ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Midweek, December the 10th, 2025. It is Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo with you. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. We're streaming live from YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm, ESPN South Florida app. Also on your Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. It's midweek, so there's a couple theories that we're going to have to get to the bottom of. You get MLB winter meetings right now, so a couple big moves being either floated or have already happened on Major League Baseball regular or free agency, excuse me. There's a lockout coming. There's a little preview there. And on top of that, people are starting to theorize on what Marcus Freeman's up to now. Oh, hold on. Notre Dame's not playing a football game anymore. Is that a shift to the professional level that is on the horizon for him? Because there have now been reports-ish. He never shut down. He was asked about it in an interview way back when, and Marcus Freeman did not shoot the idea down of potentially coaching at the National Football League level. And that is what people are running with today, especially on the Giants side of things. That's Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, 888-760-3776, number to get into the program. Got you for the next 2 hours up until 6 p.m. today. Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm great, partner. I'm fascinated by this Freeman stuff because I sit here wondering if it's a step back. Wouldn't you rather be the Notre Dame football coach than the New York Giants? I know, listen, Giants are great, right? I mean, Lawrence Taylor, the championships with Eli Manning, the great teams in the 90s. I understand all that. But Notre Dame's Notre Dame, Kyle. So I'm interested to see kind of how this thing shakes out.
You think there's any – are you under the impression that there's actually a reason that he would actually want to take that job?
Well, it's not to deal with Notre Dame, right? It's not to deal with them not playing in a conference.
It's a bigger football job.
Yeah, I mean, it's the NFL. I mean, the NFL is bigger than college football. But I think Notre Dame could go money for money with whatever the Giants offer him. Would you agree with me on that?
That's not a money decision. He would make more at Notre Dame than he would
at
the Giants.
That's why I think, is it a step back for Coach Freeman to leave the Fighting Irish to go to the NFL? He didn't win a national championship either. I think that's something. I think Coach Freeman wants to win the big one. And I think from everything we've heard from the Notre Dame side of things, they thought they could have done it this year with C.J. Carr and company. And give Notre Dame credit. I will give them credit here. They looked like a lot better football team than the first two games of the season. And they were probably a hold snap away from maybe beating Texas A&M if Buckner was able to figure things out on that extra point. I think he's got unfinished business at Notre Dame. I think, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, New York fans, 888-760-3776, I think the bigger job is Notre Dame. There's more money there. I'd be shocked if he moves. I would. And the final layer of it, he hasn't won anything yet at Notre Dame. There's no conference championship to win. He got to the big one, but lost in the big one last year. I think he's got unfinished business too.
There's an expectation, that he's trying to win, but, you could be pleading for insanity if you keep trying that over and over again. When are you going to leave? The Giant job only pops up ever so often, and they only call you ever so often. I mean, do you have to make it under the impression that you have to finish what Notre Dame is before you move on to the next one?
I got to look and see if he's a Giants fan. I know he went to Ohio State, Kyle. I probably should know where he went to high school. He's not going to be a fan. He's not going to the fan he's a fan of. I just think NFL jobs pop up all the time. He could go to the NFL whenever they want. And as a Buckeye fan, I get scared that Coach Day is going to go to the NFL one of these days.
There are bigger NFL jobs than others. Going to the Titans is a lot different than going to the Giants.
Yeah.
Going to the Giants is a lot different than going to the Packers or going to the Cowboys for that matter. There's levels to it.
Is there a chance that this is a ploy for maybe Marcus to make more money? Is this a ploy for some kind of listen, Kyle, you're my GM guy and money guy, and you keep things realistic with me. So do you think this could be a ploy? Is there for some kind of leverage situation for Marcus Freeman?
Would New York be happy about it?
No, I don't think so. To go college coach, you tell me. You got the base of those fans better than I do. My best guess is no.
What would they look for alternative?
Head coach, play caller. Flashy.
It sound like Brian Dable to you?
I mean, Kyle, it's for me, you keep trying till you find the right one. I understand, sometimes teams go away from what failed. For instance, the Bears, right? The Bears had a head coach play caller with Matt Nagy. They went out and got Matt Eberflus. How'd that work out? And now here we are. They got Ben Johnson, head coach play caller, about to be in the playoffs for the first time in his first year coach with the Bears. So, that's probably what I would want. If I were a New York Giant fan, I'd want a hot and flashy offensive coordinator that's ready to take the next step, not necessarily a guy in college who hasn't able to got the. Is he a name? Absolutely, but he hasn't gotten the job done others. It's not like this is Kirby Smart or Ryan Day. They have national championships to back it up. Day with 1, Smart with 2, obviously. But you get what I'm saying.
Do you even judge it at that, though? Do you even judge it from the perspective of, oh, they've won championships at the college level, they must work at the NFL level? Or is it more under the impression that this guy suits what we're trying to do? He seems to be easy to work with. He knows how to organize. He's a CEO at heart, but he doesn't necessarily, he's not a dictator. And, there's some college coaches are. I mean, are there levels to that? And, hey, you mentioned, why would you go college coach? The Chargers got Harbaugh. Like, it's not the most impossible thing. You can make the argument that Harbaugh couldn't wait to get out of there because of all the cheating scandals. But the NFL to him was a step forward because he didn't want to deal with college. Could you make the argument that maybe Freeman wouldn't want to deal with college?
Yeah, and Freeman, you could even add a layer to it of dealing with NIL and all of that. I mean, you've seen coaches get out of it.
Let the general manager flux the contracts. You coach the team. You're
now,
involved in some of the personnel, but nothing crazy.
I think the Harbaugh thing was a little different, obviously, from him coaching in the NFL before, too. I think I think Harbaugh is an egotistical maniac where he wanted to win a national championship and win a Super Bowl. As much as I can't stand Harbaugh, guy's a great coach. He gets the job done, and I wish he coached the Browns. But at the same time, I think those are different. Kyle, why do I think somehow, some way, and listen, I'm shooting from the hip here, all right? This is me speculating. This is some kind of leverage move. I think it's some kind of leverage move for him some way.
Nothing
and
has
that's
come
why I'm
from
speculating.
Freeman. Nothing has come from Freeman.
And that's why I'm speculating. Maybe his people in his camp are throwing things out there. Hey, Marcus might leave. You know what I mean? Didn't make the college football playoff. Marcus might leave. Maybe it's a threatening tactic. I don't know why you would threaten Notre Dame at this point. My best guess is you see him coaching. By the way, Fighting Irish schedule next year is a joke. Well, they got one game, and it's Miami.
Well,
They're going to win.
Argument. Like, if Marcus Freeman's sitting there and he didn't like how Notre Dame's athletic director handled the postseason, he didn't like how he pulled them out of a bowl game. I have a partial doubt that Marcus Freeman had a hand in saying we don't want to play in the game. I'm sure the AD said we shouldn't play in a game.
Sure.
All right, fine. And maybe he didn't like that decision. And if he didn't like that decision, all of a sudden he doesn't like the direction that it's going. He doesn't like the ownership. He doesn't like the watchfulness that comes from Notre Dame's above. He doesn't like dealing with the boosters, whatever it might be. And he thinks, all right, hold on a second. I'm young enough where I could go to the NFL and make this work, no problem. I agree you're leaving something good, but you're leaving for something greater. These coaches are egotistical.
Yep.
It's not every single person wants to be a lifer in South Bend, Indiana. I get it. You could be famous. You could be revered in that culture, in that program. But some of these guys, maybe he wants to shift out of Notre Dame. Maybe he doesn't want to be a lifer. It's
a name, too. For the Giants, and I'm going to the Giants' perspective, it's a name, right? It's a name that I think would probably fit the NFL style. The more I look at college football, the more it is the NFL. Managing contracts, managing big egos, Notre Dame's a big brand. Like, if there is a coach who could do it, I probably think it could be Freeman because of how big Notre Dame is, and they've played in big games. Obviously, they're not playing in a big in this year, but they've played in the college football playoff multiple times under Freeman last year on their run to the national championship. I just think Giant fan, I'd be surprised if Giant fan would like this. They don't like anything. New Yorkers don't like anything when it comes to sports. I understand that, Colin. I don't think they'd like college coach trying to turn NFL. I don't think they would.
Unironically, I think it'd be a good hire. I do. I think it'd be a good hire. And I would totally understand shifting out of Notre Dame. If you're a coach, yeah, you want to win those. It's empty calories of winning the 10 games at Notre Dame. It really is. It's empty calories because you're beating Stanford and Boston College, and then you beat USC once a year, and you kind of move on with your life. I get it. If you're not winning a chance, it's a little bit title or bust for a program that hasn't been title or bust in a long time. But that's because they don't play in a conference. They don't really have a true rival. And if you want to say you want to throw out there USC, Navy, and Miami, go for it. But that's not the case. They don't have a true rival. They play in a lousy city. Is it the craziest thing in the world that he want to go professional? No. And I wouldn't blame him to do that because I wouldn't want to deal with Notre Dame either.
I think
if you're not a Notre Dame guy, if you don't drink, he drinks the Kool-Aid. But if you don't live by it and die by it and breathe by it, if you have an out, is he entering a volatile marketplace where chances are you're out in 3 years? You're more likely to be out in 3 years than there for 5. Yeah, but if that team comes calling, it's a good job. That's a marketable job. That's a friendly job.
It is.
I don't think that's a terrible move.
Let's focus on the Notre Dame side, because if this does happen, Colin, if this does happen before, let's say let's say this comes out January when playoffs start. Obviously, the Giants aren't going to the playoffs, right? Notre Dame is tremendously set back here. Look at all the teams that have figured out coaches. Where do you go? Where do you go? Because Sumrall, gone. Obviously everyone's got their man, and not to just focus on John Sumrall, but every name is gone. I mean, Lane Kiffin, gone. Sumrall, gone. JMU guy, gone. Like, who are you plucking? And at that point, maybe Notre Dame would do what LSU did. Find someone from a current team right now and steal them from under their nose. But I think this would, and obviously the Giants feel like they would be getting a big-time hire and whatever. It's not who's getting kind of screwed here more. You know what I mean? I think it's Notre Dame would be the team that is suffering the most because of where we're at in college football right now, with no coaches being on the market, and the Giants getting the flashy new coach. But Notre Dame, I think, would kind of be left with their pants down looking for a new head coach now. It would not be and coming off of the drama of not making the college football playoff and not going to a bowl game. It would not be good for Notre Dame.
Well, you can mention
he would leave at a bad time.
If I had to throw a guess, uneducated, I would say that Marcus Freeman was not fully in to the idea of skipping bowl season entirely in favor of making a stand against the ACC and ESPN. Against the ACC and ESPN, Notre Dame's trying to make a stand against the TV network. You think the coach cares about that?
No.
Coach's like, let's play a game. What are we wasting our time for?
I agree. And you could call me a homer all you want, but he's a Buckeye. We don't do that, all right? So I'd be very surprised if Freeman decided to pull his team from that.
That's an administration
Bush
move.
League.
That's an administration
It's
move.
Bush League.
Maybe off the front, we're standing in solidarity. There's no way that call did not come from top down. There's no way.
I had a real issue with that, and maybe that's the leverage. Remember, I was asking you, Kyle, what's the leverage? Why would Freeman do this? Maybe it is as simple as, hey, he didn't like the way the bowl game was handled. Maybe it was as simple as, hey,
I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Yeah, don't want to deal with this. And
every year, college football playoff, everybody's begging for us to join a conference.
Yep.
Maybe he thinks they should join a conference. They never will. We don't have a true rivalry. Is a little rough. We handpick our schedule. We got guys. We got talent. There's no doubt about that. We're going to win games.
Yep.
But if I want to kind of rid myself of the politics, you go to the professional level. Because there's no politics there. It's either performance or out. That's what that is. If you could be a terrible person, if you're a great coach, you're going to hang around.
So you would like the move. You would like the move.
I would. Because I don't think the head coach play caller route, I'm not saying it wouldn't work. You'd have to get the right guy. Liam Cohen is like that, and he's worked out for Jacksonville.
It's your guy.
But, with Callahan on the Titans, Dave Canales with the Panthers, it's up and down. McDaniel, everybody's a head coaching play caller nowadays, and half the time it doesn't work. More than half the time it doesn't work. If you wanted to get a guy who wouldn't be afraid of any sort of pressure, he'd command the locker room, he'd be respected, he'd be good to the media, he'd be good to the players, good to the ownership, he'd be easy to deal with. Now you don't trust, you don't know what his specialty is, but he offers you something in terms of like that Tomlin Harbaugh type. Maybe that would make sense. Now, it's always risky getting a college coach, but I think the Giants are at a point where they've tried everything. They have tried everything. They got the special teams fancy coordinator, Joe Judge, that exploded. Ben McAdoo is honestly, revisionist history was a lot better than I think they gave him credit for. Ever post Coughlin, they've been striking out left and right. Shermer was up and down. They've done this. So if you want to try something different, just to see if it'll work, I don't know if I could fault them.
I mean, post Eli and post Coughlin has been a nightmare. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Joe Judge, man, that was funny. Football guy Joe Judge, yeah, I remember him.
Who's an Ole Miss guy right now? The Ole Miss quarterbacks coach.
I don't know. I think Freeman would be leaving some unfinished business in college. That's my only thing. I think he wants, and I'm speculating, I think he wants to win a national championship at that school.
I'm sure he does. But if you continue wanting to play the game where the college age of football is lawless, it's the Wild West, it's unpredictable, you're at the mercy of the committee, everybody hates you. Let's keep that in mind. You're at a program where everybody, especially now, everybody cannot stand you. And if you're not living and breathing that us against them, everybody mentality, then I would sit there and be like, gee, coaches don't even want to talk to us because I can't even get anybody on the phone. because we skipped out on a bowl game due to the AD going on the Pat McAfee show and talking about how he hates the ACC and they hate the ESPN. Like, that would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Just putting into words, I'd be like,
it's hard, man.
I would want out too.
It's a tough gig. I mean, you saw Brian
I'd
Kelly couldn't get out there fast enough.
I'd call.
Look what Brian Kelly did too. Mid-season.
I'd call if I'm the Giants. I'd call, make him say no. See what happens. I'd call, make him say no. We'll offer you right now, 5-year contract. See what happens. You want to stay at Notre Dame? Fine. You want to watch your AD, go on the Dan Patrick show, and talk crap about the college football.
He looked like an idiot. Listen, this is my opinion, but he looked like an idiot. Call it spade a spade. He looked like an idiot.
Didn't look great. That's Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. We got Christian Cat behind the glass. We'll have Chris Swager in studio. It's the Kaiser University Athletic Director. They got a national championship to celebrate. We'll get into that and ask the AD in a moment. But first, if you've been in a car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, they're here to fight for you. They don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Why settle for just any attorney? Demand the best. Demand Anajar and Levine. Because all it does is take that one phone call, take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call for the free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Take back control of Anajar and Levine. We got Ask the AD with Chris Swager, the Kaiser University Athletic Director. Coming up after this, it's Russo Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
During football season, keep your home in the win column with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the field, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS is the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSisyes.com today, kick off your game day comfort, and don't sweat the small stuff.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com, pbhnphysiciangroup.com, to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
As players fight to avoid mistakes on the field, remember to make smart choices off the field this holiday season. If you decide to drink and drive, you could get a DUI or worse. That one decision to drive impaired could change your life and the life of others forever. If you're going to drink, the only way to be the MVP this holiday season is by planning a safe and sober ride home. Don't risk it. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
If your appliances can't handle the holiday hosting heat, December deal drops at Lowe's makes upgrading easy. Get up to 40% off select major appliances, and rewards members save an additional $40 on the Whirlpool electric range and the over-the-range microwave. Plus, get up to 60% off select ladders, so you can deck all the halls. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/10. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details.
Pig Beach Barbecue on 2400 South Dixie Highway is ready for football season. With the best video walls, big screen TVs, and audio system in South Florida, it's the best place to watch all the games. Enjoy all their incredible barbecue, burgers, signature sandwiches, beers, and cocktails as you cheer on your favorite team. And with the NFL Sunday Ticket, you can be sure they will always have on the game you want to see. Let's kick off this football season right at Pig Beach Barbecue on 2400 South Dixie Highway.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smithball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smithball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3, where we're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm and the ESPN South Florida app. Go to F45 today. Get your day started with a Victory functional style working out. It is an exercise classes. It's 45 minutes in and out. Go through the morning or in the afternoon. You got 2 coaches on site making sure you're doing everything properly. You show up, you get a sweat in, you turn your brain off, and boom, it's over. Follow along on the instructions on screen and see what other people are doing right next to you. Like-minded fitness individuals. They're there to have a good time. They're there to listen to some music, and they're there to get into better shape. That's what F45 has to offer. Check out their location in downtown West Palm Beach on Instagram, F45 Downtown West Palm Beach, or find a studio near you online at F45. We got special guest in-house today. He's the athletic director of Kaiser University, Mr. Chris Swager. Let's get to it. Ask the AD, because we got some national championships to get to.
It's time to ask the AD. Kaiser University Athletic Director Chris Swager joins Russo and Rizzo to talk all things college sports, the latest on Kaiser athletics and more. Ask the AD is presented by Kaiser Seahawks Athletics. Learn more at KUSeahawks.com.
Championship Wednesday, so to speak. You got another national championship under your belt. Women's soccer.
Yep.
Penalty
Third overall.
over Cumberland's over the week, 2 days ago, I believe. So congratulations on that. That is number 27.
27, third for them. Lowest seed to ever win and first team to win in 2 different states.
Wow. Now, what seed, Chris?
14.
Wow.
Which I don't agree with, but hey, thank you for the committee.
You didn't agree with the selection committee?
No, not in any way.
And you didn't pull out of the tournament?
No, we did not pull because we had to prove them we weren't the 14 seed. So you can't make changes unless you break the system.
I was gonna say, you didn't agree with the.
But no,
you
there
can
was
bail if you want.
There was some weather, and the men's national championship happens to be going on in Orange Beach, so they had to move the quarterfinal game from Pensacola to Orange Beach because it was a turf field. Then they went back to Orange Beach to finish up. So it was they faced some adversity.
What a pain!
Yeah,
oh my God.
it's about an extra hour away, but they had. I think we're behind in the last 3 games at halftime, came back. You fight through adversity, you win. So they did a great job.
And Kaiser football semis this weekend.
Yep. Semis, 1 o'clock at Kaiser University. We'll be playing College of Idaho, who we matched up with 2 years ago in the semifinals. So kind of somewhat of a rematch, a little bit different team on both sides. But we get through that one, and then we'll head to national championship game out in Dallas, Fort Worth this year.
Oh, wow.
Fort Worth, how about that? And so a lot of good stuff. Hopefully a couple more national championships still on the docket in the fall season, in the thick of winter season, as well as that's really basically off and running, correct?
Yep. Yeah, winter season, it's about getting to the heart of it. We'll finish up here for the fall, and then most teams are going to hit their conference play here starting in January. So, but yeah, big game this weekend against a great opponent. So it should be, good football, hoping for some warm weather for College of Idaho coming down. So it'll be exciting.
Were you pleased to see Ohio State lose on Saturday night against Indiana?
I wouldn't say pleased. It was, I'll be honest with you. I was watching the Duke-Virginia game for a lot of it.
Excellent football.
Great game.
As somebody who understands.
It was interesting.
Implicating.
Yeah, I think it makes it more intriguing going into the playoffs. If Ohio State wins, I don't know that it's now there's probably a little bit more who's going to win. I think it's probably more of a toss up. I believe Ohio State was probably the favorite in most people's eyes
Not
before
anymore.
before that game. I'm
Not
saying
anymore.
so
Not
it makes it
anymore.
a little bit more intriguing. So
They should have. If it was up to me, I wouldn't have given them the bye. I know that's more of a performance.
They have the best gambling odds still. They're to win, but Chris, interior offensive line and the quarterback looking like a deer in headlights against the only team we played all year. So the defense will keep us in games, but is the offense going to be able to turn it around against good opponents? With all due respect to the Fighting Illini and Michigan, but good opponents like Indiana. So we'll see. I don't know. I told Colin I'm doomsdaying a bit, but regardless, win lose. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of a 12-0 season. It stinks you weren't able to get a Big Ten championship, but whatever happens in the playoffs, I could live with it.
Right.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean Indiana, it's crazy. I mean, crazy story. I mean, it's don't know a ton about them as far as obviously where Signetti came from. Quarterback from Columbus down in Miami.
He's a great guy.
Now let me ask you this, Chris. If they're 16, if they go 16-0, is that the greatest single season in the history of college football? Because for me, it's hard to, 16-0 at Indiana and winning a national championship. Indiana, historically, the most losing team in the history.
Right.
They've lost more games than any Division I program. I think it'd be one of the greatest seasons ever.
I wouldn't say greatest team or season. I would say definitely greatest story / comeback.
Fair enough.
I mean, I don't know that it's
like
the best team, but I definitely think no one saw it coming for what they've done. Again, I haven't seen them play enough, to put them up against some of the greatest teams ever to say, hey, they would.
Right.
I think that's a different distinction. Greatest team ever is a lot different than
It is.
some of the greatest seasons ever. Contextually, this is not a team that is, riddled with 5 stars.
Right.
It's the second year of basically this program. It's the most losingest program.
I think, again, the story. I think the season's good because of the context from before. I think there's other teams that have had huge wins, tougher opponents, whatever. But I just definitely think the context. I mean, you got, a walk-on quarterback. No one really looked at him when he went to Cal. Then he comes back. Now he's probably going to win the Heisman. I mean, there's just a ton of storylines that are really, really interesting.
And with the committee over the weekend announcing the college football playoff and Notre Dame being the big, target in terms of them getting leapfrogged by Miami last second. They did not have Alabama move after losing 28-7 in the SEC championship game. You think the committee got it right? You agree with removing Notre Dame from the equation last week of the actual?
So there's a
rankings?
couple. Do I think the best 12 teams got in? No. Do I think they followed probably what the criteria was? Probably. I thought if Virginia, as crazy as this sounds, because Miami got in, I think if Virginia would have won, I don't know if Miami would have gotten in.
I agree.
Because I said going into that, they're not going to lock the ACC out. So I think Duke winning helped. What confuses me a little bit when I'm looking at it is, to me, BYU is the one who probably has the biggest argument because you play in a conference championship game, you lose to arguably a top 4 team in the country twice, and that hurts you versus a team that didn't play. I mean, it's a little like, for example, the Alabama argument. They go in, they lose the game.
And they don't move.
Well, they had better wins in the regular season comparatively.
Well, I get that,
to
but BYU only lost to Texas Tech, who, again, depending on how they finish, you could say it's a top 4 team.
So they only lost to the 2 teams they played against, in other words.
Well,
and granted, it's Rich coming from a Buckeye fan who just told you we didn't play anybody, but I understand the
revisionist. So let's say Texas Tech wins the whole thing, and you say, okay, they only lost to the national champ. I mean, I don't know. To me, the conference championships, almost as bad as it sounds, we don't have them in the NAI. You have your conference champ, but not a championship game. So we get automatic bids based off of however the conference decides is your champion or your winner or tiebreaker scenario. To me, it seems like conference championship games at the highest level are starting to kind of lose some luster, almost to the point where you just get rid of them, bump the playoffs back, or start it earlier. Just because in a scenario like BYU, if they declined to go, would they have been in a better spot to make the playoffs if they didn't play in that game?
Probably. Honest to God, probably. I texted Colin, they played themselves out.
Yeah,
and they did.
And granted, they didn't play great. It was a blowout,
Yeah.
but just, you look at it and you say, hey, we're going to decline it. What's the penalty there? And you get in. To me, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Same with Alabama. You go and you play that game, and yeah, you lose it, but you do play, again, arguably a top 2, top 4
No,
team.
I'm assuming there could be some incentives for coaches to win the conference
Correct.
championships, and that's probably why you wouldn't do that.
Right.
But I get it. That BYU would have had a better chance to get in the playoff if they don't play that extra.
But there's probably a bigger incentive to make the playoff than there is to win the conference I mean, it's just
Probably.
and the fact that it's a conversation means the system is broken to an extent. But same with bowl games. I mean, Notre Dame's not going. I think that's going to be more frequent just because now, I mean, in the past it was, hey, you get a couple extra weeks of practice with your guys, you get ready for next season. That was well, now you don't even know who's on your team next year, so the extra weeks may not matter.
Yeah.
You got with the portal opening, right around, when your season's ending, you're trying to flip everything. Coaches, so I could see conference championships changing, and I could also see bowl games changing as well.
Wow. So you think of implicating offseason probably. And this is not the first time it's ever happened, but Notre Dame being kind of at the center of this. And what do you make of how Notre Dame has handled this in terms of making a big deal about it, number one? And then number two, their version of you going on every show known to man, basically bad-mouthing the ACC and ESPN and the playoff committee, and we got screwed, and they irreparable damage to our relationship. What do you make of that?
No, Chris.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd handle it the same way, but at the same time, I somewhat understand because, like you said, going into I don't know what they were told going into that weekend. So I don't know if behind closed doors, every indication was you're in. There's no way Miami can jump you. If either you both get in or you're in, and then it flipped. So I could see some anger there. Notre Dame's a different brand all in of themselves. So, they can probably do things a little bit differently than most people because they don't have a conference affiliation.
They can get away with it.
Yeah. You might be playing the odds in the future. So if you're in the same spot next year, does it get handled differently now knowing how you went on this media blitz and did it? I mean, you might be setting something up. So I don't know. I mean, I think they're in a unique position because every year they may be faced with the same problem because they're not going to get the auto.
And this is the first time that everybody can unify and say, you're not in a conference. We can we could get away with punishing you for that. And you're just going to almost have to wear it.
Right. So I think if the mindset is, we can't let this happen to us, we have to do something, then I could see why that's kind of why they're coming out. Otherwise, do you want to get bullied again in their mind next year?
Bullied.
So,
they lost every big game they played. Don't lose it.
It's a good team. There's no doubt.
You really can't compare it to a baby because a baby doesn't know any better, right? A baby will do something that, isn't right, and the parent will have to explain to them why they're being punished.
So
I'm going to explain to Notre Dame why they're being punished.
Okay.
You did not win a single game of substance, and beating number 20 USC, who has been irrelevant for the 15th year in a row, doesn't mean squat. Beating a Pat Narduzzi Pitt team, which was overranked to begin with, who said before the game we could lose by 100 and it doesn't mean anything, doesn't mean squat. You lost your 2 big games, join a conference, and you could end this.
But you did
It's that simple, kid.
But you won the games you're supposed to win.
What's that?
You won the games you're supposed to win.
No,
Miami didn't. Miami didn't win the games they're supposed to win.
Miami beat that team head to head.
Florida State beat Alabama, but that doesn't work that way.
They had the best win on the schedule with the 2 teams. For me, Notre Dame wouldn't even have been a top 25 team losing those 2 games.
Did Miami beat the teams they're supposed to beat?
They did not, but they had the better win comparatively. They had the same amount of losses, and you look down, they had the better win, and they beat that team that they were up against head to head. There's no conversation. Miami gets in.
So
that's the issue. Miami gets in. There's no conversation. Notre Dame lost the 2 big games they played all year when it wasn't Little Sisters of the Poor.
So in a Big Ten scenario, if this were Michigan, Ohio State, and Michigan had lost to Minnesota randomly and someone else, I think people would look at it differently. So,
it depends on if they beat, like, for instance, Vanderbilt. I'm going to use Vanderbilt for this argument.
Right.
They lost 2 games in their conference. They're out. And it's because they lost to the big-time opponents like Texas and Alabama. They don't have a good win on the schedule. It would depend if Michigan beat a good team or not. The only reason Michigan was in consideration to get in was because they had a chance to beat the best team in Ohio State at the time at the end of the year.
Yeah,
that's
I don't
why
know that
they would have gotten it.
Again, Vandy's another one that's got an argument. I mean, I just think, again, am I saying that Notre Dame and Miami aren't 2 of the best 12? No, but I mean, you got to have the James Madison, you got to have the other schools. But I just think it's the rule, like Vanderbilt, same thing. I get straight to schedule, but to your point,
they didn't beat anybody on it.
How about this?
But they also didn't lose anyone bad.
Christian, we're going to have some big breaking news here. Can you call it? breaking news for the United States: the St. Lucie Battery and Tire. You're gonna like this.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire. If
All right.
your vehicle has issues with
Don't
braking
spoil
or
it.
other issues, get it fixed right now
gonna
at
jump on
St.
real
Lucie Battery and Tire.
Per Adam Schefter, per the ESPN app, Michigan has fired their head coach, Sherrone Moore.
Whoa! I don't like that. I actually wanted him to stay there.
How about that? Sherrone Moore, gone. Talk about the top job on the market. They waited till the ducks fell where they may. And now the biggest job, that to me in a lot of ways is bigger than LSU because of just the billionaire backing by the Ellisons.
Easier
Sherrone
schedule.
Moore.
Easier conference schedule.
Gone. Now Michigan's job's open. Basically everybody is available. Everybody's available. Dan Lanning's available for this
Agreed.
job. Kalen DeBoer is available for this job. The only person that's not is Day. It's the only person that's not. And he's not going to a rival.
Correct, thankfully.
Kirby Smart's untouchable, too.
Everyone already got extensions. That's the thing. Everyone got a big pay
Correct.
raise in the past
Michigan
month.
has unholy money.
They do.
What about
And
Freeman? Did he get an extension?
Freeman will never go there. He's a Buckeye. Never go to Michigan.
I don't know about
He would
that.
never
Money
go to Michigan.
talks.
I don't know about
He would
that.
never go to Michigan.
I would have
don't know
said he
about
would have
that.
never
Never.
opted out of a bowl game, too, but that happened.
Now, who does...
Freeman will never go to Michigan.
What if he
boys.
does?
Fair play. He won't. So, we're not.
You're getting a little uneasy over here.
He won't. So, by the way, Freeman 4-0 against the team up north.
They don't fire him without somebody in mind.
I would have said that months ago, but lately it seems like that's not quite the way it's going down because I think most big jobs now are thinking they have someone ready to go, and then that kind of falls out.
I now, granted, guys, I'm not going to spit why I think he got fired because they're deep dive conspiracy theories from Buckeye Podcast. So let's not do that. I do want to hear from the university. I do want to hear from the university, though. I do. I want to hear why they fired him. Maybe 3 games this year. That Michigan team, you told me yesterday you didn't think that Michigan team was very good. I don't know how much different Sherrone could have coached the team in order for them to beat in Oklahoma, beat in Ohio State. I don't think they had the guys to do it this year. So I am interested to see what the reasoning is going to be.
Well, a couple things could probably go into it. I wonder if they're worried about Underwood, their quarterback, going somewhere. If they didn't like if he was going to enter the transporter or set to. If they didn't like the way this season kind of tasted in the offseason with the offense. I mean, that's all related to Moore. And also, Moore has all the connections to the previous
cheating
regime,
scandal,
which is all,
you
has blemishes.
You
when
also
they
had to wait because if you let's just say you got rid of him, who was going to take that job with everything kind of looming? Like someone had to kind of ride the storm out.
And he rode the storm out.
Right.
And you have talent. You know you're going to be able to get a team there. It's a huge program. It's it's a top 4 or 5 job easy. Now, who do you go get? That's the interesting part. And in my opinion, there's no way they fire him without somebody in mind. Not at this time.
I agree with you.
Not this time.
Way too much.
They have somebody in mind.
Way too much.
They have somebody in mind. And I wonder who it is. I maybe does Dan Lanning eventually leave? He's got unlimited money too, but Michigan's a bigger job than Oregon.
I need to go through. In the break, Colin, I'll go through the Michigan book of who's a Michigan man.
So you think it's got to be someone tied?
I think it's going to be a Michigan man.
Not a Big Ten guy, but a Michigan guy.
I think it's going to be a Michigan man. That's why I got to go through the Bible of what Michigan men would want to take that job.
I don't know if I buy that.
I always thought Les Miles. Remember Les Miles? He was a Michigan man. I thought he'd go back after LSU and coach. Obviously, he fizzled out at Kansas and whatnot. But like when they went through the years, boys, of cycling through Rich Rod, Brady Hoke and company, I always thought that Les could have been an option there. But I don't know. I'm with Colin, though. Someone has to be in mind. A big splash has to be in mind. And obviously, it's not Jim Harbaugh. He's banned from the NCAA for cheating his butt off for about 10 years. So we know it's not going to be Harbaugh.
If they got less, him and Day could talk about hair dye secrets, and then they could bond over that. But
you think what? Coach Day dyes his hair is what you're alluding to?
He doesn't?
I have no idea. I'm not paying attention. I'm not paying attention. Coach Day wears a hat.
Blackbeard over there.
Oh, Blackbeard, Coach Day. But yeah, I don't know. But boys, we'll have to wait and see the name. And I'm not going to go through what Buckeye Honk says why they thought he was going to get fired with. But I want to see the statement from the university.
So let me
Can't
ask you
wait for
this:
that.
when you said Rich Rod, so do you just out of curiosity? To me, they tried to flip it up in the Big Ten, to kind of do a different offense. Do you think it's got to be Big Ten football, or do you think at this point they can?
Big Ten football. Here's the thing I explained to Colin yesterday. Big Ten football historically is what Iowa runs. pro style, run the ball 80,000 times a game. Urban Meyer changed that when he brought the spread offense and the South to the Big Ten. It feels like everybody's been trying to emulate that. Now, give credit, Indiana, good offense, great defense. They've been able to emulate what kind of Ohio State has done under Sig. So, like, I think that's the future. The spread offense, the clapping and the whole thing.
Well, I agree with that. I
invented.
just mean more, obviously where they're located, time of year you got to win. I mean, you got to have a physical line. You got to be able to run the ball.
And let's
right?
give Harbaugh credit. He cheated his bum off, but when they won the national championship, they won by a run-first offense with Corum and Edwards. They had an unbelievable offensive line and the best defense in the country.
Right.
That's historically how Michigan has been able to win their multiple national championships, once since the turn of the century. You can't all be Ohio State. But at the same time, like, that's how they've been able to win. Grind it down football. I think what you're alluding to is, are they going to go spread it out and get some receivers in the building?
Yeah. Worst case scenario for this whole situation is that Michigan didn't do this with a plan, and they're doing this off of reactionary if something happened and they had to get rid of him. If it's that, then Michigan's in a lot of trouble. But that's the type of job where you could call anybody.
If it was reactionary, I mean, I just would guess based off everything that happened in the past.
Timing's peculiar.
You would have heard about it.
Their season ended 12 days ago.
Right. Unless, to your point, there's a guy, and that guy has become available or shown interest, and someone's ready to pull the trigger and fund it. But I would just think, based off of what happened a couple years ago, if there were another scandal, that would have come out pretty quickly.
Right.
From my understanding,
I don't want to say death penalty, but that's high end based off the fact that they already have sanctions and got in trouble.
From my understanding, he was supposed to be the fall guy to begin with, and then he beat Ohio State last year, and that changed things.
They had to deal with it because they had such a great year. He was the one heralded by Harbaugh. They knew punishments were coming down. He was just the guy. Scapegoat is not the right word, but they had to deal with it. They had to deal with it for a couple of years, and I think they're off of that. And whether this is reactionary or performance-based, now the biggest job in the market opens up considerably. And that's probably the biggest job in the market.
This wouldn't happen, but I would love to see Mike's face if Harbaugh's brother ended up there and they went on some
John?
run. Yeah.
Second Harbaugh, how would that feel?
John,
That's actually
the guy,
not a bad shout.
The brother who was illegally hitting with the Baltimore Ravens all those years ago, cheating himself. So
that would not be a bad shout.
Wouldn't be surprised.
John Harbaugh comes in, ruins Mike's day for 10 years.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
They could. See, the thing is, they could go pro or they could stay in college.
I need to be careful here because this is one of the Buckeye, favored pods. This isn't confirmed. Okay, this isn't confirmed.
Be very careful with what
according
you say
to 11 Warriors, they're saying Michigan fires Sherrone Moore for cause. What is the cause? I don't know. Like I said,
rumors in my group chat.
This is hashtag
because they weren't good.
I'm gonna listen. I love 11 Warriors. Okay. But I'm going to call it hashtag fans with sources for the time being.
So, Chris, you think it's the Michael Scott because I hate him? Because
exactly. You got that
I'll
reference.
give you a quote. I'll tell you why. Pete Thamel just now. head football coach Sherrone Moore has been terminated with cause, effective immediately. Following a university investigation, credible evidence was found that Coach Moore engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member.
And
what's in the water in Michigan?
How about this? The deep dive.
He may have doked himself.
By the way, Christian, the deep dive conspiracy podcast series is exactly what that was, what I didn't want to speculate about.
Wow.
But,
so,
but
confirmed.
Is that the reason why you can do it, or is that the reason why it happened?
I mean, maybe
he's getting set up.
He's not getting paid enough money for them to have to get out from underneath that.
My point is, if they want to make a move, they find the reason they make the move.
Is this Mel Tucker round 2?
See, hold on. This is AD thinking.
Sorry.
This is AD thinking here. So you're thinking, we're going to get rid of him regardless. Let's find a reason.
Or the reason came across and they pulled the trigger. Again, I mean, not knowing, but
we're looking for a reason. We found one. Let's take it.
Yes. It is, because obviously.
How does that work with contracts? You could terminate that
with
contract.
Cause, yeah. I mean, you got to find
they
something.
Own nothing.
Otherwise,
they own nothing.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you find stuff probably.
Interesting. Wow. How about that? So Sherrone Moore, the head coach at Michigan, has been fired, and Pete Thamel came out and said that he engaged in an inappropriate relationship with somebody that's on staff. So a subordination clause, and that's why he is out. So Sherrone Moore out, and Michigan looks to be, I don't know if this is, I'm starting to think that this is not planned anymore and that they're going to have to figure this out
I
on
don't,
the
but
fly.
I'm with and Chris.
I see his point, though.
Yeah, I do. I don't think they wanted him there anymore, personally.
Hey,
I really don't.
We got to eat it. He's got a fresh contract.
Right.
They were hoping.
Hold on. Now we can do this.
They were hoping. I think hoping's the wrong word, but like they saw this come across the desk and go, yeah, we're good.
They weren't. Okay,
We're
let's
good.
put it this way.
We're all right.
In some cases, I don't want to say cover up, but you try to find ways. In this case, obviously based off what happened a few years ago, you got a shorter leash, and then you just kind of pull the cord, and then you go for Freeman, and you try to get him back over there and create some magic in Ann Arbor.
No Marcus Freeman's a Buckeye. He's an Ohio man. He's not going there.
Unbelievable.
Not going there.
Man, Hartline missed out. He's a couple of days too early.
Hartline's going to USF to get the Ohio State job one day.
That's what I'm saying. He missed out. He could have been there. Patricia, can Matt Patricia go?
He's going to USF to get the job. And Patricia, no. He finally found his home as a coordinator.
Oh, he found his home.
He found his home as a coordinator.
He found his home. Fascinating. So Michigan now, the next big job available. I wonder where they're going to go from here, because you could call quite literally anybody. You can call anybody, and they're going to pick up the phone, because Michigan deals in the Big Ten, where it's a lot less pressure than the SEC. It's a pretty stable conference. It's definitely a stable program. It's an established school with a whole lot of money. And you have unlimited money and resources to play with, and you play one huge game a year.
Well, and to go back to the question I asked earlier about the style of play, the reason I asked too is because that probably limit, if you believe they're going to play a certain way, that might also limit some of the options. Like you said.
So you're talking about, all right, we have a mold, and we got to find the guy who fits the mold instead of have the coach come in and he establishes the mold.
No.
There's a certain style, like for example, like just throwing out, like what's his name at USC?
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley. Does his style fit a Michigan? Maybe he could adapt, maybe he could adjust, but you're looking at top names. I think if you're looking at what it takes to win in the Big Ten,
now boys, I got a name for you. And actually I don't have the name because I don't know his name, but I know what current job he's working. He was a part of the biggest cheating Ponzi we've seen in NCAA history, so he might still have repercussions from that. Who is Harbaugh's defensive coordinator with the beard, black beard? He might be the DC right now for the Chargers.
Oh, Jesse Minter.
Could he? Now, like I said, he was part of the biggest cheating scandal in the history of the NCAA.
I don't think it was an offensive thing. It was about play calls.
Okay, could he?
It was not about offensive signals. It was about defensive.
Could maybe he go back to Michigan?
That's not a bad idea. He's going to get a head coach. He's going to get head coaching looks in the National Football League too.
Fair.
It's not a bad one.
The other big name.
I don't know if they want to rid themselves of the. All right, Harbaugh's done. Let's go find somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, Georgia's DC was a hot name.
Glenn Schumann.
Again, I don't know if that fits at Michigan.
Right.
I mean, I do agree there's got to be some ties. Now, granted, the Big Ten landscape is different.
Now,
but
let me ask you this. You know, Colin can't stand that I'm really into the recruiting, but Michigan had a top 14 class this year. What happens with those recruits? Are they able to enter the transfer portal immediately?
Yes, they are. If a coach is terminated, you have a 30-day automatic window.
So I think that's another thing. Michigan did a great job recruiting this year. What happens there?
Well, go back to your point, I would assume they had a list of some sort.
Yeah, they have a doomsday list. They know
of people to get.
They know who to call,
and you probably have to do it relatively quickly.
Yeah, and I wonder how they're going to do it, because I'm sure they're going to call a couple playoff coaches. I'm sure. They would call Dan. They would call Dan Lanning. They would call Dan Lanning. They'd call Kalen DeBoer. They would call guys like that.
Would Kalen DeBoer leave Alabama for Michigan?
I don't know. Probably not.
It's
probably
the stability thing.
It's probably not, but you play Michigan.
How fast would Lane Kiffin be on a plane?
Yeah, that's another good
LSU.
One. Yeah,
here's my thing.
Kalen DeBoer
quickly on DeBoer. Alabama is like Ohio State, where you got to win every game. Michigan, you could lose 5 games a year and get 3 years there. You know what I mean?
Right,
so
but he's not worried about losing 5 games. Michigan's got limited resources.
Years.
It's about who they play, too. They play Ohio State every single year. That's your huge game. And outside of that, you play in the Big Ten.
But it's more stability. Like Bama and Ohio State, you're coaching for your life every single game. It's not like that at Michigan. You could afford to lose a couple of games at Michigan and still have a job. And still get into the playoff. If you lose 2 games in Michigan, you're probably getting into the playoff because you're Michigan.
Yeah, I would almost say, and
you play in the Big Ten. The only reason Notre Dame didn't get in is because they don't play in a conference.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if there's someone in the NFL with ties that could come back.
True. They could definitely
go. I said
time of year is a little weird.
I need to go through my Michigan men Bible over here so I could give you a better thing. The Minter guy comes to mind.
Whoever gets this job is going to pass the keys to Connor Stallions in 8 years. Oh. That's the answer right there.
That cheating.
Yeah, once his show cause order does expire.
He's not allowed near an NCAA facility. So, guys,
not allowed near an NCAA.
He's banned from schools, that guy.
Wow.
He just needs a camera, really. I mean, he can
he
do it
needs
all
a whole lot of
virtually.
things.
So according to Pete Thamel of ESPN, credible evidence was found that Sherrone Moore, the head coach of Michigan, former head coach of Michigan now, was engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. They used this as cause to terminate his contract effective immediately. Michigan's job is now open. So goodbye, Sherrone Moore. Hello, just about anybody. Who says no to that job?
No,
3 people.
Now, Chris, what in your mind, where does Michigan rank among the best jobs in the NCAA?
Openings or just jobs in
Jobs
general?
in general. I probably would put it, the best of the best. Alabama, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Michigan, LSU. Those would probably be my 5.
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, and I'm not just, down on the Big Ten, but I think when you look at path to championship, I mean, I said this before, even the ACC, like a Clemson job, is it in a state right now? But when you look at, okay, what's it going to take for me to get to the playoffs and move on? I think Michigan's definitely there.
Absolutely.
Similar to Franklin going to Virginia Tech.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you go to an SEC job, you may get a little bit more leeway.
There's also resources, too. Michigan has unlimited
it's got
resources.
the resources, but I just think the path, just compare, let's say, Florida or LSU to Michigan. I like to your point, I think you can have
10-2, you'll live in the playoff every year.
Yeah, you're living in the playoff. You got a shot to do that pretty regularly. History, tradition. So it's
Playing a huge rivalry game. It's a proud school. They got good athletic programs. They got a good fan base, great stadium, good money. That's a great job. I would say outside of, Alabama's a bigger job. So is LSU. So is Georgia. So is Ohio State.
And I think
I'd stop the list soon after that.
And I definitely think I know you're not going to like this, but what
Texas,
Harbaugh did
maybe.
at Michigan, I think bumped it up a little because they did win. If they didn't have that national championship, you're talking about.
Oh, you got to rebuild Michigan. You got to do
Right.
Yeah, but you're talking about a long.
and listen, give him
he
credit.
showed that you could win there, so I think that elevates it a little bit more.
And I'll even give it credit. They went 15-0. No teams ever gone 15-0. My pushback as a Buckeye fan when they cheated the 2 years.
There have been teams that have been 15-0, but yes.
But apologies, but the 2 teams that cheated the 2 prior years there, that's what led to being able to have that great team the year they didn't cheat.
Yeah, my point is because prior to that, and I know you'll know this off the top of your head,
that's why
how long did it take them
asterisk.
to win? But prior to that national
So
championship.
97 was the last time they won a national
Right,
championship.
so they don't win that. Now you're going in thinking, can I win here?
Well, yeah, they've been irrelevant since the turn of the century.
So now I think that bumps them back up a little bit.
They lost their rivals 17 of 18, and then they finally turned the tide and, won a tainted championship for the 2 years prior. That's exactly what happened.
They also beat their rival 5 straight times.
Yeah.
And also cheated for 3 of them. So it's okay. It's all right. I can handle it.
That Moore press conference after the game got on the field. That got him an extra year alone.
Wow.
Just the
So
tears flowing.
We're going to see what type of new developments come out about this specific job. But Sherrone Moore out as Michigan's head coach. And now the phone book is open. Who can they call? Who would say no to that job? Lane Kiffin's a funny one. He would
The dominoes would start falling.
He would do it. He's an SEC guy, though. Nonetheless, Chris Swagger, you got football semis this weekend. That's the next big thing on the docket. Is that not?
1 o'clock on campus. We win that, and we go on to
Fort
play
Worth.
in Dallas the following Saturday. So, we need a lot of support. Great time of year to come out and watch some football. It's going to be, mid-70s, 80s, which is great for us, warm for them, but great environment. Come out and support us. And then after that, we got basketball tournaments coming up. Winter sports are getting in full swing, so there's going to be a lot of activity over the next few weeks and over the holidays. So,
Chris, did I see Kaiser's got an awesome esports team?
we do have an awesome esports team. Yes.
Now, let me ask
those games.
What games do you
What do they play?
Do you
Is it an
play
event? Is it
CS?
an
Do they
event?
play Duty? They play CS? They play Fortnite? This is now you open up the bag me.
I'm seeing
Rocket League.
I'm
They
seeing
play
Black
Rocket-
Ops.
so Rocket League.
Okay, Rocket League CS.
Smash.
Super
brother.
Smash Bros.
Super Smash
Okay.
Bros.
I'm seeing Call of Duty Black Ops 6 finals on
Okay.
Thursday night at 8:00.
Where?
So no, it's esports. You play online. I mean,
Well,
it's
so-
not.
There's no home and away. You don't play on other people's consoles. Or something like that?
No.
They
No.
do.
So we have an arena.
No way.
They have a
party.
sleepover,
Yeah,
actually. Everyone
Guys,
goes
guys,
over Timmy's
guys,
place.
you got a word
Question.
for that. That is what we call a LAN party. by
So-
the way,
Is that-
LAN party.
Those exist.
So-
They go to one spot and they play in one spot. It's
They
like Mike
do.
going to Tokyo. Mike could have done that remotely.
So they do that for some tournaments.
I was
Yes.
I
one
think
battle
they
away.
do that where they go and they compete in our arena. We have a stage set up where they're
I've
playing.
seen that.
Yeah,
I've
and then
seen
there's
that. It's a
TVs in
great
front
spot.
so you can go and watch.
It's a great spot.
Yeah, so in the fall, you're playing schools from all over the country. And then in the spring, we actually have a conference season where we're playing schools just from our conference.
I don't know
That's
how
awesome.
good your freshman class is for the esports team, but you could call Mike, see if he has eligibility remaining. Mike's
Now,
good at
if
this
you-
stuff.
I am, but my main is Pokemon. If you have ranked battles, call me.
In Pokemon?
Correct. Call me.
Isn't that where they run around and search for people? Was it?
not
was
true.
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Pokemon Go.
no,
Mike's
Yeah,
what
really
was
good
that?
at
It is
Not-
Pokemon.
That was
I
like
don't-
5-6 years ago?
Chris,
Yeah,
do
Mike
not
still
roams
has
around
it.
the
Mike
park.
Mike still plays
Chris,
daily.
do not disrespect me as a Pokemon Go player.
But that
That is
was
disrespectful.
that was a thing, wasn't
It is,
it?
Chris. Pokemon Go is disrespectful. I play the stuff that they're playing for millions of dollars for, the ranked battles, okay? I told Colin I was 1 win away from going to Japan. I lost my final regional battle in Central Illinois.
No clutch gene.
Yeah, James Franklin,
Wow, so
James Franklin.
Mike's still wrapped up on that. How long ago was that?
about 4 years ago.
4 years ago. He still thinks about it.
That cards?
No, video game. Ranked battles. Pokemon Sword and Shield. Dynamaxing. You know what a Focus Sash is?
No,
You know what a Choice Band is, brother? Choice Scarf? Okay.
no.
So
no.
if the esports needs a Pokemon guy, you
me.
can see if Mike down the
me.
street can, commute in as
Yeah.
a.
Adjunct.
Chris, you know what a tailwind is? Okay. All right.
Is this supposed to be like a?
It's if you
I just got
rank
owned.
battle, let's put it this way.
Yeah.
If you rank battle, I just made your day. Let's just say that.
Is Yu-Gi-Oh? Are you good at that?
I never got into the card. I collected the cards. I love the anime. I mean, dude, the four seasons of the anime is unbelievable.
Could you walk into Kaiser's esports arena and play them in Black Ops 6?
No, God, no.
and
I
compete?
am a casual. I am such a casual at the point and shoot. Fortnite.
So maybe this is the next challenge.
Yeah.
Do you think we could come up with a game and you go and
Mike, you should
call
play
my
against the esports team.
My cousin, listen, I'll bring in my ringer. I'll bring in my cousin Blake. Blake,
You can have the
play
silver
with any of those
sash
kids.
One
and
of
the
the
green.
games they play. It doesn't
garb.
have to be black. What are the games they play?
Yeah.
I can play Smash. I'll get rocked, but I'll play him in Smash Bros.
Better
for sure.
chance at winning at Smash or
No, I'll be-
knocking down a 35-yard field goal at
I
halftime.
probably feel more confident making the 35-yard field goal than beating these kids.
But you think
video games.
not even knowing who's in there, Pokemon, you would own anyone in there.
Not own, but I'd be. Let's put it this way: if you had a professional level Pokemon player, I'd be able to hold my own with the strategy.
Do you play with a character like the little duck or something? Like how?
No,
does,
there's no.
I've seen the movie. I watched the
it's
movie.
okay.
Which one? There's 100
yeah,
of them.
there's
There was-
about 40 movies, Chris, and I've seen them all.
No, the one with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh,
That's,
the live action movie.
Yeah.
The Pikachu movie.
It's called.
Yeah. Is that the same?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, that movie's
by
a
the
wa-
way,
that
it's called.
movie's-
It's
that
called.
movie's a waste
It's
of
called
time.
Detective Pikachu.
That movie's a waste of time. That movie's a waste
I
of
got
time.
kids.
And
I
it
was-
wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. To be fair,
I got kids.
Are you gonna
It
go-
wasn't bad. To be fair, from a Pokemon nut, that movie wasn't bad. My buddy Gomer and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, you get 6, Chris. Now, it depends if you do singles or doubles for Pokemon. You get 6 Pokemon, then you got to decide, in doubles, you get 4. In singles, you get 3. So it depends on the criteria, but I have a pretty strong team for doubles and singles for the current meta right now. The meta is the Pokemon you're able to use in the current format.
Just,
Got it.
I don't do it competitive. By the way, I
Noted.
don't do this for the record. I do not do this competitively anymore, but I know enough to be able to do it.
Are you for hire?
No, I have a job at ESPN West Palm, and I love my job.
You wouldn't drop it all if someone
You're
came
not a free
calling?
agent.
No,
You're not a free agent.
Dude, it's a
Mike,
young,
the
it's
kid
a
at
young
Tokyo
man's
is-
game.
Mike, the kid at Tokyo has
It's-
food
how
poisoning.
about this?
We can get you
How
on a
about this?
flight Atlanta to Tokyo. You gotta leave
How
right
about
now.
this?
You're not
How
leaving?
about this?
That's like a made-for-TV movie.
Pending
trains
Brian,
for a
hang
week.
on.
Mike, kid has food
Hang on.
poisoning. We need you.
Pending Brian Rowitz and Stephanie Prince. They announced this stuff. I'll go on the Twitch stream and announce it. They announce all their Pokemon Worlds ranked battles. I have the know-how to announce these. To know how to
I'm
announce
talking
these
about
events.
perform, play.
I'm retired. Like you're retired with women.
You can
I am
be Phillip
retired
Rivers.
at Pokemon.
Phillip Rivers.
I'm retired. No.
So he's
I know
coming out
when
of
my time's up.
retirement.
Brother, I
That's
know.
not a bad shout.
I'm in my Reggie era. For all my Pokemon fans out there, Reggie, big time battler, he quit and he's a Pokemon breeder now.
You're doing
We're
the
good.
equivalent
We're all good.
of coaching high school football.
No.
That's the equivalent, and
Brother,
that's you playing Pokemon
I had
recreationally.
I had my window, and to be fair, I shouldn't even have been doing it. I shouldn't even have been doing it. I had my window.
I missed
did.
my prime.
I did. I had my window. I had my window.
I'm imagining
all done.
2 weeks from now, almost a scholarship announcement where Chris Swagger gives Mike Rizzo a full ride. It's like, you know what?
to
The Kaiser is
Kaiser
going to
for the
dominate the
esports
team.
team.
Uh-huh.
Give him a try. You got to get Mike.
You have to have a tryout first, obviously.
We could set up.
Dude,
a
I'm
tryout
not
for
the
Mike
point.
against
The
guys.
point and shoot, bro. Listen.
We'll play whatever.
I'm a decent enough
middle ground.
Fortnite player. I got a pro controller. I could compete with the PC kids, but like, dude, I'm getting rocked the moment I face off against top tier
Are
competition.
you a good talent evaluator?
Remember what Tate said? Who said it? Who was one of the kickers that said he went to those camps to compare himself with the best of the best at those
Tate
camps?
Sandell, the Oklahoma kicker.
Yeah, he said he would go to the kicker camps. Listen, I've done that before. I'm all good, dude. I'm all good,
The
mate.
Pokemon
The
camps?
combines.
Well,
yeah.
dude, that was the regional. I came very close, and I lost the final battle.
Wow.
I lost the final battle. And I'm not going to say how,
If
because
he
it
ended
doesn't
up being
matter.
really good, how cocky would he be? Would he come in like a mink coat and glasses and
Like a walk-in.
a theme song?
It's a walk-in. It's like a boxing match. You know,
I'd
he's
come
got-
in
he's got
a-
people
I'd come in
walking-
Ohio State
Morgan
Buckeye.
Wallen walking with him or something like
No,
that.
I'd come in a Buckeye sweatshirt and sunglasses. That's what I would wear.
Wow.
Our own ninja.
You know, Chris Swager's a big holiday guy.
Greninja.
He's a big holiday. You have your light set up.
I do have my light set up, of course. We talked about this right after
I know.
Thanksgiving.
I was right at Thanksgiving. He's a big Christmas guy.
Oh, God, dude.
What?
That is, listen. I love
watches the
I'm a
Macy's Day
Grinch.
Parade.
I'm a
Macy's
Grinch.
Day
I'm not
Parade.
gonna lie. I don't have kids yet.
He'll
I'm like,
DVR the Macy's Day Parade every
Christmas
single year.
it's a pain, and especially living away. You gotta go home. You gotta plan flights, and it's such a pain. You gotta buy gifts with money I
Yeah,
don't
it's a family
have.
holiday. I guess that
Money I don't have. Like Thanksgiving's great. You get together, you eat a ton of food, and then you're with love. This you gotta spend $500 on gifts, the whole thing, like $300 on a flight. I'm good, dude. Maybe when I have kids, I'll like it. Maybe when I see the little ones really be able to enjoy it with the performance that the missus and I put on, maybe I'll like it. But for right now, it's a pain in the
Mike,
ass.
you got to pay for more when you have kids. You see,
Fine.
you get
At
all
least-
your
at least you
grievances
get-
were about
at
the
least-
money.
At least you get some gratification from it. That that
don't
your
get
kids are
gratification from
that your
gift
kids
giving?
are bragging
No.
about how they had a great Christmas. Please, my brother and sister, I looked at them. I said, "You seriously want something for Christmas
what if
still?
you
seriously want a Christmas gift still? Are we over this?
How about
We're
you-
30. Why are we doing gifts still?
How about you, me, and Chris do a little round robin
Yes.
No,
Secret
dude,
Santa?
We're out. I'm out. I got to buy gifts for the whole family.
And
We're out.
you get
all
gift.
right?
You get a gift for Chris. Chris gets a gift for me. I get a gift for you.
And I told you how I do this. I kick and scream about it, but I get wicked gifts.
Wait, he's getting a gift from me?
Yeah, I was going to say, get the short end of that stick.
He's gonna get a strategy guide on how to play Pokemon
I'm gonna
Crystal.
get
okay,
like an ESPN coaster or something from the back.
Yeah.
You're getting a Publix confetti cake.
But
Yeah,
no,
we'll get
like,
it the day before.
but Kyle, like, I looked at my brother and sister. I go, "You serious?" Like, they both texted me, "What do you want for Christmas?" I said, "I want nothing, but I know you want something. So tell me what I need to buy." I am that. You don't need to get me anything. My mother gets me fresh socks and underwear every year, and that's it. That's all I need. Give me my re-up on the socks and underwear. I'm all good. That's all I want.
So do you get your mom and dad gifts?
I do.
And they don't give you any gratification?
Listen,
it doesn't warm your heart.
It's a burden. It's a burden more than anything. And I got to make sure I come prepared. So I'm not the Grinch that people already say that I am in the family.
So we talk about this is like a Netflix movie all in itself.
Oh, it's terrible. I hate it all.
Radio
I hate it
Pokemon
all.
former player hates Christmas. Something happens at night, falls on his
There
head.
you go, Chris. Now you're onto something.
Now
you're
transported back.
Now you're onto something. Now you're onto
Yes,
something.
Goes to Christmas past, brings him to that
Like the
fateful day.
gifts, the bull, like we're good. Like I looked at my brother and sister. I go, "You seriously want?
Do you like Halloween?
You seriously need? Yeah, love Halloween. Love Halloween.
So you like drinking holidays? Halloween and Thanksgiving. You don't like family holidays.
5 years sober. The reason I like Halloween was because my birthday's the 30th, and we would always celebrate on Halloween. The boys would come over. We'd have a wicked holiday. We'd have a wicked trick-or-treating session on my birthday. That's why I like it. It's nostalgic. Do I do anything on Halloween anymore? Absolutely not. But it's nostalgic. That's why I like it. And it's easy.
But Christmas
You
wasn't
get a pot of
nostalgic.
candy and you stand by your apartment and you give it to kids. That's
No
it.
nostalgia for Christmas.
Dude, I'm done with the Christmas.
Not
is
done, but nostalgia.
Christmas, it costs $1,200. Yeah,
all about the
I'm all
money.
good. It costs $1,200. We're good on the Christmas. All right. Arsenal jacket for the brothers. Some ridiculous thing for bag for my sister. A ridiculous something for my mother. My dad goes, "Mike, don't get me anything."
What's the best Christmas gift you ever got?
Received or given?
That you've ever received?
Dude, the best gift anybody could ever give you is cash.
No, what was the best gift?
The best gift you could give
Wow,
somebody
you're
is
really, you're really getting the
I
idea.
feel like he got
The best-
shafted. He can't think of a gift. That's what it is.
The best.
It's,
well, and I told Colin I'd get the new Pokemon game every Christmas. Like Christmas was great when you were young, when you were able to just wake up. Oh my God, there's all these presents and rip it open. Now you're an adult. Now it costs you money. $1,200 you don't have. Okay?
You are a selfish human being.
Oh, God.
You are so
the
selfish.
end of the
stand it.
Pokemon career has...
When Christmas
It's just
showed up
like,
at your door, it's great.
We're supposed to be
If you
celebrating.
were still competing at the highest level in Pokemon, you'd be getting
The
everybody a gift in the
commercialization.
office.
I have a problem with the commercialization
No, you
of
don't,
Christmas.
because you love it when it's
Absolutely.
benefiting you as a 4-year-old.
Well, yeah, but I'm good now. I'm 30. Joe, Jen, you're 30.
But you wanna pay it
Commercialization.
back.
What do you want to hand make like a gingerbread house and give that
I just
to your
don't need to do it. I go to church on Christmas and that's it. I don't need any gifts. And I'm honestly, everyone else needs gifts. Fine.
This is crazy.
But
Here's
you want
your
cash,
gift.
But you want cash.
Dude, I would accept cash. That's it. Mike, what do you want? All right, take $100. All right, here you go. Perfect.
The Mike Rizzo
Take
fix for
$100.
Christmas is if I got gifts but didn't have to give gifts.
No,
That's the
but like
perfect
what
Christmas.
I'm saying is I'm completely content with getting absolutely nothing on Christmas if I don't have to get anybody anything. That's the person I am.
So transactional.
That's the person I am. It's just like I don't know.
It's not a
You
good
get mad
thing.
at people if they give you gifts because then
Kind
you feel
of.
like you have to give them
Yes,
something.
absolutely. And I'll tell you something off the air. But
Okay.
yes, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you get angry
I
at
do.
people for giving you something because now you feel obligated.
Correct. Because I got to get them something. I got to get them a gift now.
You mean Chris can do a little round robin?
We're good, dude. We're all good. We're all good.
I think
We're all
we
good.
I think he's going to turn down the gift.
Yeah, I am. Correct. We're all good.
That's Chris Swagger, Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, the guys, athletic director of Kaiser University. Appreciate Chris joining us as always. Christian Cat. We'll take a time out here, do a little 5 and 5 on the other side of things. It's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
It's time to spill the beans, football fans. The 12th annual Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans is Tuesday, December 23rd at 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Louisville, fresh off wins over playoff teams Miami and James Madison, faces Toledo, chasing a record third bowl title. Louisville versus Toledo. Scoop your seats now at BocaRatonBowl.com. The Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans, December 23rd at 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Whether it's a clutch touchdown pass, a game-winning dunk, or an impressive dash to the finish, we want to highlight the best performance of the week. The winning performance will receive $500 courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Catch the biggest moments and winners all season long on ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. Nominate them today by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Welcome to being treated like a pro.
Wing Wednesday, brought to you by Hurricane Grill and Wings. 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, handcrafted cocktails. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
Some pirates spend their miserable lives searching for gold and silver. Strike the sails and cast the anchor, mates. I see a floating chest. Tickets to the South Florida Fair. With rides, games, grubs. There'll be something for every mate in your crew. Forget a soul on your list?
Great last-minute gift.
Give them an experience they'll never forget. With tickets to the South Florida Fair.
Now on sale at Publix and SouthFloridaFair.com. Party with the Pirates opens January 16th in West Palm Beach.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
ESPN 106.3 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet, home of Inter Miami, Miami Heat, and the Miami Dolphins. Catch all the action and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 106.3. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book.
Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida. The wager terms and conditions apply. Considered by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMIT.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit SignoramawPB.com.
This is the Delray Beach Open, the ultimate tennis party. Don't miss today's top professional tennis stars and legends in downtown Delray Beach. February 13th through the 22nd. It's 10 days of 140 miles per hour aces, parties, and all the good vibes. Come for the non-stop action on and off the court. Snap pics and post memories at the DBO. Join us for a jam-packed week of ATP tennis matches where champions play and fans party. DelrayBeachOpen.com for info. Tickets on sale now.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stressed life. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jayzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
On December 17th, golf changes. Team Rory and Team Scotty, two of the biggest stars in the world, step onto the course built under the lights for challenges the sport has never seen before. The Optum Golf Channel Games. Fast-paced, high-pressure, up close, and unforgettable. With only a limited number of fans, you'll be just steps from the action. You can also elevate your night with exclusive hospitality experiences. Be there when history is made at Trump Jupiter. Get your tickets now at golfchannelgames.com.
Every great performance starts with a plan. Your game plan for greatness begins at Men's Only Medical. Dr. Al is redefining men's health with concierge care and cutting-edge treatments tailored just for you. From anti-aging and weight management to cardiovascular health, skin, and hair, they've got you covered. Expect personalized care and advanced technology to help you look, feel, and perform your best. Visit mensonlymedical.com. Men's Only Medical, setting a new standard for men's health.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Ball into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Light him up, Colin!
Well, you got breaking news. University of Michigan fired their head coach for football with cause. Sherrone Moore is out. It later came out, according to Pete Thamel of ESPN College Football, that Sherrone Moore, who is married, by the way, engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staffer on the team. Nobody knows who, nobody knows how, nobody knows when, but he was engaged in a inappropriate relationship. They found cause, and now he is out. Big thanks to Chris Swagger, the athletic director at Kaiser University, for giving us the time there. And now the Michigan job is the most touted job on the market. It would be right there neck and neck, if not higher than LSU. That is a job where you pick up the phone and you listen just about anywhere. And now Sherrone Moore is gone. Now you got to hypothesize on whether Michigan was looking to get out. They found this situation and they found that to be an out, or this came up and now all of a sudden Michigan thinks, all right, now we got to make this move off a win. So now, tricky spot for Michigan. They're going to have to make this move quickly within the next couple of days just to survive the anarchy that's going to follow. But
8 losses in 2 years, too. They weren't trying to hold on to him any longer, I think. So
they rids themselves of the hard
yeah, I know everyone's like, who do you hire? I guarantee you the hire is going to be a slam dunk. I could almost guarantee it.
If I had to make a bet, they're taking another head coach.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee.
Professional or college, they are taking a head coach, and it is going to be a head coach of a big school or big team.
Right, and that'll make that, I think, matchup in Columbus a little more interesting. I
have a hard time seeing them go coordinator. I have a hard time seeing them go former Michigan man. I really do think they're going to go for an A-plus level prospect, somebody who wasn't in the floating around on the carousel when LSU was around, because everybody knew that LSU was going to lose Lane Kiffins to lose. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to get somebody to say yes.
Just like go through the big name coaches. Like there's 2 coaches right now. 3. I forgot about Dabo. There's 3 coaches who have national championships, boys. That's Kirby, that's Dabo, and that's Day. Other than that, no one else has won a national championship in college football. Isn't that just crazy how much Nick Saban dominated college football for so long? I mean, him and Dabo, I'd have to go through it. I'm shooting from the hip here. What, him and Dabo compiled for like 6 national championships in a decade? Like, and then Smart came in and got 2 of his own. It's really been dominated by 3 schools, and with the exception of the Buckeyes every now and then, and that LSU team for the last 20 years.
John Harbaugh.
No chance.
I think chance.
No chance.
I think that whole situation, to me, I don't know if they'll
He's
ever
not
do
a
something.
Michigan man, though.
True, but it's run stale. There's no doubt. It's run stale with the Ravens. If I had to make a guess today, if the Ravens keep going the way they're going, I could see an amicable split on either side.
He's an NFL coach.
He's an NFL guy.
Who doesn't want to deal with NIL.
And maybe you're right.
Dude, you need a guy who's going to be able to deal with NIL.
When you pick up the Jim Harbaughs of the world, it's a little easier to pick them up from the professional level because you're not jumping into a crap storm. You're jumping into the current day.
Like, that's why I'm so happy Day won last year. Because is he going to lose a game he's supposed to win? Absolutely. He does it damn near every single year. He did it with Michigan and Oregon last year, and he did it with Indiana this year. But he is a guy who's going to be able to recruit well. He's going to be great in the NIL. The players love him, and he's a CEO. I'll take that. And listen, you got a good chance to win a national championship this year. And this isn't me being a Buckeye. I promise, boys. I think Michigan is trying to find that guy. They're trying to find their Ryan Day, who could lose one game and be in the conversation for a championship every single year, especially with the expanded 12.
Would Curt Cignetti say no to that phone call?
Absolutely. I think give Cignetti here. Listen, from everything I've said,
I don't know about that.
Hear me out on this. For everything I've said about Indiana and how much I, kind of don't like Cignetti, I give him credit for wanting to be at Indiana. I buy him. I buy his word when he says we're going to turn Indiana into a powerhouse. I think he wants the field named after him, and he's going to make Indiana a great team in the Big Ten for years to come. That's why I think they say no.
Sounds a whole lot like Lane Kiffin.
Remember when Indiana, you played the sound for us. We're going to beat Michigan. We're going to beat Ohio State. I think he meant that. And they're paying him money. They're paying him all the money in the world already.
I think USC, I think Lincoln Riley's in play here. I definitely think Marcus.
I love Lincoln Riley.
I think Marcus Freeman is, I know he's a Buckeye.
I don't think he'll go, but.
I think he's totally in play here.
I think Lincoln Riley, Lincoln Riley's never won a big game.
True.
He is allergic to a big game. You're going to bring him to play the Buckeyes every year?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I will say with Notre Dame, them being left out of the playoff has a massive ripple effect on how that job is viewed. If they made the playoff with this resume, not having the head-to-head, I would have actually considered Notre Dame the best head football coaching job in the country, in college football. And now I do not look at it that way anymore. I seriously thought Marcus Freeman would not leave for anything.
And everybody hates the program. Everybody hates the program. We're Notre Dame and you're not. Truly.
Michigan's a little bit like that.
And that's in the likes of the college football
Don't
circle.
you think Michigan's a bit?
Not nearly,
but a bit like
that. The fans are like that, but the program isn't viewed as such, if that makes sense.
They at least have allies within the conference, just as they're a part of something.
As much as I can't stand Michigan, as you boys know, I'm happy they're in the Big Ten and I love the rivalry. So there's that. Yeah. Buckeye fans have the back of the rivalry of the Michigan stuff, even though, did it get ugly with the field and the cheating? Fine. But that's what happens with rivalries.
I know he's got unlimited Nike money. I'd call and make sure Dan Lanning said no specifically. That would be my first call. I would say, Dan Lanning, are you interested in coaching this job? Because it's a lateral in the way of top-end Big Ten to top-end Big Ten with unlimited money. but Michigan's a better program.
And he would leave, and this is
a
what
lot easier to recruit to Michigan than it is to Oregon, at least geographically, I would say.
they've done a great job. They had a better recruiting class this year, but and I think a lot of it is landing and the Nike money. But I think right now Oregon's in a better spot. He'd be leaving a better spot right now.
More protected spot, not a bigger team or program.
The bigger brand is Michigan, but with players and the culture of the building right now, Oregon's a better spot. And a lot of it is the coach.
I think Kenny Dillingham would love this job.
Isn't he an Arizona State guy?
He's also having to pass his hat around for money for his program.
My opinion, he's a little too low for it.
Pews in the church, Christian?
He's a little too
pew to pew.
That job is a little too big for his britches. He's a little too low for that. My opinion. I don't know. Maybe he's big enough for that. Maybe that's where they go. Maybe they want to get a new guy and let him see if they could get the most out of him with unlimited resources. Maybe that's their thought process. They could go after an A-lister.
They seriously screwed the pooch with the timing of this, though.
Yeah.
Like they are.
But to Colin's point,
who realistically would they be? Matt Campbell? Would they go
after
Matt Campbell?
They are.
Matt Campbell makes sense because he would get called for the Michigan job.
They're a top three, in my opinion, top 4 job at least in the country. I think they could get. I'm with Colin on that. They could get anybody they want, not name Ryan Day. And as a Buckeye, I sit here and say Marcus Freeman won't take the job. I don't know.
They could call Heupel.
Who knows? Maybe he will.
Heupel at Tennessee and make him say no. They could do all that.
I like to think Freeman goes, no, I'm good at Notre Dame, and I can't stand Michigan from the 4 years I beat their ass in Columbus. I'm not going there.
Is there a better year to try to poach him than this year?
Probably not. Where is this Giants stuff coming from?
I
we deep dive this, by the way?
I saw it today.
I saw the gambling line favored Freeman significantly. Like minus odds.
Yeah.
It was that I might have gotten trolled a bit. Maybe that was I got to be careful spreading misinformation. People are very, very high that Freeman is going to go to New York. That's why I asked where it came from.
You make people say no. You make Heupel say no. Heupel's probably big enough to take the job. I mean, Sarkisian, Texas is one of the few jobs that's okay. You're protected there.
Texas is one of the, and granted, we forgot to mention Texas with their top jobs in the country. They're right there.
You make Clark Lee from Vanderbilt. You make him say no. I know that's his alma mater. You make him say no. All those jobs, you make them say no.
And now, the big thing of last offseason for Michigan was the NIL pay for one Bryce Underwood. That they're paying him all that money, $4 million a year on an actual year contract. Is he going to jump ship with no head coach if someone else can match it?
Wouldn't shock me. And honestly, deserved. If it had been, for me, deserved.
He didn't play that good this year. He played okay.
Yeah, but for Michigan to open the checkbook like that and have that blow up in their face, dude, I'd be raveling in it.
You call Brent Venables at Oklahoma. You make him say no. Yes or no?
Here's my thing. Venables was on the hot seat going into this year. Granted, he turned it around into a college football playoff
unbelievable season this year.
I don't think
got more resources. It's a lot easier to get people to Michigan.
It's a name, certainly a name, and a guy who's beaten Ohio State multiple times at his time at Clemson. He was a boogeyman.
He's good in a big game.
I have nicknames about that guy that I can't say on air that you guys would pee your pants about. That I'm going to tell you off air in the break.
There's no doubt.
But yeah, that guy, dude, that guy owned us multiple times.
He's good in a big game.
Great defensive guy. He'd need to find a coordinator. He'd have to bring over that coordinator that's there with Mateer this year.
Ben Arbuckle.
Yep.
So, and they don't have a great offense either, but that's an option. Get out of the SEC. Do you want to avoid the SEC? I mean, they got it by the skin of their teeth.
What's the chance, boys, that it's like a coach where you don't really know much about?
Maybe someone
and
from
a Michigan guy
inside.
I could see Jesse Minter come back. I could see that, but it's a little hardball coated. I don't know if they want to deal with that regime again. I think they want to kind of try something new.
Yeah, I'm going through
Jesse Minter is a current defensive coordinator for the
Correct,
Chargers.
and he was a defensive coordinator when they went 15-0. I don't have a name. I said I'd have to go into my Michigan book. Other than Jesse Minter that I threw to you last segment, I don't have anybody. Unless they go and steal a coach that has roots somewhere, a la Dan Lanning. I don't know what the hell they do.
I don't know.
And I love it.
Do you go after a professional level player?
Do they go caretaker for a year?
Who's a head coach that is attractive to hire from the NFL that would drop down from pro to college ball? That we agree is like a good coach and probably would do good things, but for some reason their current situation isn't it.
I don't think it ever happened. You know where my mind went? Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
Never.
No,
Too big of a job.
The Packers' job is similar to that of a Michigan
hold on.
job.
3 weeks ago, we talked a lot different about Matt LaFleur comparatively to now.
You and I didn't, but people thought LaFleur should be on the hot seat.
That is a fair weather opinion on Matt LaFleur. Whether they win or lose the week prior is how people feel about Matt LaFleur within the Green Bay circles.
Mike Tomlin,
Kevin O'Connell.
Guys, all right. Now it's lunacy, and we need to shut this
out. What the hell happened here, J.J. McCarthy? I got to find out.
Kevin O'Connell, I got to go see what happened here.
Colin, this is
see the scene of the crime.
This has turned into lunacy, but you want to know what's not lunacy? Is my guy Doc Al over at Men's Only Medical, because he's going to make sure that he takes care of you. All right, it's the concierge healthcare service, which means you got Doc Al's number. If you got something going on, you need to see Doc Al, you could text him. You could hit him up, and he could get you in as soon as that day or the day after. Go check it out at mensonlymedical.com. He's my primary doctor, and him and I are working together with the weight management and nutrition program. I told Doc Al I wanted to shed some pounds for the holidays. I've already shed 10 pounds with Doc Al over at Men's Only Medical. See what Doc Al could do for you. And listen, folks, it's much more than that. It's much more than a concierge healthcare service and weight management and nutrition. If you have hair loss and you need hair loss solutions, if you need a skin assessment, if you have heart issues, all right, they have expert cardiovascular healthcare to make your future a strong one. They got anti-aging stuff. For all my partiers out there too, all right, if you're hitting it hard, they got liquid IVs, and you could go in the next day. Say you hit the town hard, you get a little too drunk. The next morning, you got a little hangover. They got IVs for you to get you back to life. That's Doc Al over on South Dixie Highway, mensonlymedical.com. That is mensonlymedical.com. Go see him in person. Go see Doc Al in person. Go see Nerd C in person and see what they could do for you. By the way, that's 116 North Dixie Highway. That's 116 North Dixie Highway. Tell him Riz sent you when you go and see him. I'm going to see him tomorrow, actually, too. I'm going to go and see my guy Doc Al with our MC, John O'Terry. Looking forward to it. And we're going to be talking a lot of Canes. Doc Al is a Canes man. I'm relieved that they made the playoff over Notre Dame, too. I'm sure he's got a lot to say. That's Doc Al, Cardinal Newman, man, over on North Dixie Highway. Go see him today and see what he could do for you.
Cristobal taking that job?
Cristobal's not getting offered that job.
Cristobal, by the way, is getting paid a king's ransom in Miami, and their NIL fund is as deep as anybody.
If they called him, he would leave in 5 seconds.
I don't think so.
He would leave in 5 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
Theo made it seem that way, too, about how much that on Mike's side of things,
no,
he's not leaving
he likes
that job.
it. He's not leaving there. Didn't he go there?
I'll play a domino effect for you. I'll play a domino effect.
Colin, he won't leave, and they have more money. They have equal money to Michigan.
No, they don't.
Dude, they spent like $50 million on the roster
Michigan's
this year.
got like the 10th richest guy in the world.
What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, though, if they want
have the Ellisons, the guy who runs, they run Paramount.
Miami proved.
The guy who owns CNN.
Did the Beck thing shoot him in the foot? Sure, but
hey, they're a playoff team.
Exactly,
but Big Ten versus ACC.
Hang on, with Beck and Cam Ward, they proved that they could go out and get anybody at that university.
And proven they could win. Fine. Point being,
they got resources. All I'm trying to say.
Alabama loses by 15 in the playoff to Oklahoma. Kalen DeBoer goes to Michigan. Lane Kiffin takes his fancy plane from Baton Rouge
He's not doing that.
to Tuscaloosa.
Colin,
and then Brian Kelly back at LSU.
Hang on, Colin. Christian's a Lane Kiffin guy. He wouldn't do that, right?
No. Lane is not doing that this offseason. In 5
I
years, after he wins a national title with LSU, and that Alabama job opens up, maybe.
By the way, Corey from Good Greek, our good buddy Corey, he says, Riz, would John Gruden to Michigan make any sense, or is it too crazy? Gruden Grinders?
They've got the Barstool connection. Honestly.
If Portnoy, that's a good shout by Corey from
Gruden would get an interview. I'm not saying he'd get the job, but he's got that phone number.
Dude, he is dying to get back into coaching. I'd actually fear that.
There was no way they give him the keys to that giant program.
Christian, I would fear Gruden. If Gruden went to Michigan, I would fear him.
There's too much going on in college. I would trust him more with the NFL.
Listen, I for the record, I like Coach Gruden. He had an ugly falling out with everything, and I just
that world's past.
You know who fits that job? Unfortunately,
I think we are
who fits it? Just the culture around it. Brian Kelly.
Dude, bring him in there. That guy's allergic to a big game. The Buckeyes win 10 games in a row. Long live Brian Kelly at Michigan. Long live Brian Kelly at Michigan. I'm talking that into existence.
That would kind of make sense.
He fits that culture.
Please.
He's a screw you guy.
Christian.
He's a screw you guy. We'll do whatever I want guy.
Hear ye. Long live Brian Kelly at Michigan. Oh, wow. I'd do a jig. I'd do an Irish jig.
Unbelievable. Now, I wonder where you go from here. 888-760-3776. What name pops up to you that Michigan football will go after as their next head coach? I think just about anybody is available. 888-760-3776, number to get into the program. Who will be Michigan's next head coach? We're looking for a hot take. 888-760-3776. Go get started on Vitacost Sports Certified Marketplace. It's built for athletes, fitness enthusiasts who like to train hard but understand what the benefits of clean supplementation and nutrition can do for you. Whether you're prepping for a triathlon, grinding at the gym, just trying to be a little bit more health conscious, Vitacost is your go-to for leveling up your game. They have a sports certified marketplace that has over 400 performance-enhancing supplements that are all certified, which means no funny business, free of all banned substances to help you level up your game. Visit Vitacost.com/sport-certified to make your purchase today. Use code ESPN20. That's ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game at Vitacost. Sherrone Moore's out. Who's going to replace him? 888-760-3776. Russo Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Wing Wednesday, brought to you by Hurricane Grill and Wings. 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, handcrafted cocktails. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar and Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stressed life. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
The 5 p.m. hour is presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage, the world's only total relocation company. Local or long distance, they've got you covered.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
It's time to spill the beans, football fans. The 12th annual Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans is Tuesday, December 23rd at 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Louisville, fresh off wins over playoff teams Miami and James Madison, faces Toledo, chasing a record third bowl title. Louisville versus Toledo. Scoop your seats now at BocaRatonBowl.com. The Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans, December 23rd at 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
Every great performance starts with a plan. Your game plan for greatness begins at Men's Only Medical. Dr. Al is redefining men's health with concierge care and cutting-edge treatments tailored just for you. From anti-aging and weight management to cardiovascular health, skin, and hair, they've got you covered. Expect personalized care and advanced technology to help you look, feel, and perform your best. Visit mensonlymedical.com. Men's Only Medical, setting a new standard for men's health.
Yeah, man.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. I don't think there's odds yet, but there will eventually be odds for Michigan's next head coach on the Hard Rock Bet app. But if you don't have that, you could also bet on college football and the NFL.
Absolutely. And Colin, you mentioned college football. You could bet on a national championship winner on the future side. You know me, big Buckeye guy. I was perusing the, odds to win the national championship. Somehow, some way, even after that stinker, the offense laid against Indiana. The Buckeyes are still the favorite at about plus 240. Obviously, folks, these are ongoing and changing. But if you got a feeling on Georgia's sitting at like plus 500 right now to win the national championship. You could get a sweet payday with our good friends at Hard Rock Bet. I want to remind you, too, as I always do, it's Florida's only legal sports book. And if you're new to the area, all the snowbirds, you got to download it, because if you're new to Hard Rock and you download and you get a new account, you deposit $5, you bet said $5 on a game, and if you win, big keyword, win, you'll get $150 in bonus bets. The Discover tab is amazing. The interface is so easy on the app to kind of maneuver what you want to do. Just say I wanted to bet on the Miami Heat the next time they play. Just type in the Heat, you click on it, and their next game will come up. It's that easy on the Discover tab. Whatever you want to search and find, type it into the Discover tab and thank me later. Check out the 100, where you get boosted odds on bets. Once 100 people bet on the boosted odds, then the next one generates. Take advantage with our good friends over at Hard Rock Bet. That is offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you're concerned about gambling, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. That's 1-833-PLAY-WISE. Plenty of college football, plenty of NFL. Download the app today.
Well, Sherrone Moore's out at Michigan, but let's bounce around in the meantime. Let's do a little 5-5 presented by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking Big Ten.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Number 1.
Wow. We thought the dominoes have all fallen in the college football coaching carousel. We were pointing and laughing at Penn State for their handling of being the first university that fired their head football coach of note and the last one to actually hire their next head coach in the Franklin to Campbell transition. But another, it's like the Stone Cold Steve Austin glass break of Michigan firing their head coach, SHERRONE Moore. Where does Michigan rank in terms of the top jobs in college football in 2025?
Easily top 5, in my opinion. If you don't think it's as big as SEC jobs, you need to get your head out of 2016 and get to 2025. Because 2025, it's all about path to the playoff. It's about path of least resistance. You can develop pros there. You can recruit just about anybody there. You definitely play in the biggest game of the regular season every single year. You are a major marquee program in one of the 2 major conferences. You have an unlimited amount of NIL money, and you have great athletic programs, a great academic institution, and a storied program. You have a huge stadium, the biggest in college football, I believe.
Yeah.
And on top of that,
it's a dump, but.
And on top of that, you can do just about whatever you want as long as you win. That is Michigan. It is a top 5 job. I would say there are maybe 3 or 4 that are bigger. Outside of that, Michigan is right there steady. This is a huge opportunity.
Michigan, you can cheat on your wife as long as you win.
And I'm sure they knew about this before the Ohio State game, and they lost to Ohio State, and things changed. It's alleged. That's my guess.
That's when, you're not wrong, because that's when the Buckeye podcasters were going on before the game spewing this. Regardless, guys, I got my 5. You'll disagree with me, but here are my top 5 jobs. Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Alabama. Number 3, Michigan. Number 4, LSU. Number 5, Georgia. And on the outside looking in, I got Texas at 6. If Texas wins a couple of national championships this century, then I will put them higher on the list. But right now, 1, Ohio State. 2, Alabama. 3, Michigan. 4, LSU. And 5, Georgia.
Oregon's up there as well.
Oregon's
a top 10. Yeah, top 10. Easy.
Number 2.
Let's make a breakneck left turn into Major League Baseball, where, the offseason's underway, and we've got some big signings already, and they were both to the dismay of New York Mets fans. Yesterday, reliever Edwin Diaz signs with the Dodgers. Today, the polar bear Pete Alonso. I personally thought he was going to be a Met for life. Nope. He's going to the Baltimore Orioles on a 5-year, $155 million deal. Are we just scratching the surface on the Major League Baseball offseason, or what are your reactions to what has transpired already?
You know, the Met fan in the world is very upset that they let Edwin Diaz and Pete Alonso leave. The one thing I'll say is, first of all, none of these guys made the Mets do anything in the postseason. Nothing. Pete Alonso, by the way, Mr. Met, doing all.
He hit the biggest home run of this modern Mets era, though.
Fine.
Last year, he didn't do anything to Collins' point.
No, but so he had that home run against Milwaukee.
They didn't even make the playoffs.
He had the home run against Milwaukee. He breaks the all-time home run thing. He's like a Met for life, according to all the fans, and then he leaves to go to Baltimore, of all places. I can't listen to that. So outside of that, it's a lot of money for a first baseman. But the Met fan that's trying to complain about this, the team right now doesn't work. It hasn't worked. They have their 2 stars. They have young players that haven't worked out. They have a lot bigger issues than keeping Pete Alonso around. I understand. You let the closer walk. We're okay on that. You don't need to pay a closer $24 million a year. You don't need to do that. Alonso, there's a little bit more of an argument. He's a little Met-coded. They didn't pay him last year. They weren't going to pay him this year. And that's a lot of money to give up. So I understand why the Mets would be upset. It's constant disarray. Now they're looking to revamp a little bit. But I don't think this is going to be the biggest move of the offseason. I think you're going to find out that Tarek Skubal will be a Los Angeles Dodger, and I think it's going to break the league. So once that happens, and I'm going to guess that right now, once that happens, then I really think you're going to have conversations about the work stoppages on the horizon.
Kyle, I like the Skubal shout. I just think it's going to happen at the deadline. I think that's probably makes more sense.
Half the season first, not this offseason?
I think it makes more sense at the deadline because that's when pitching is at its highest. That's when you're going to get the most. Now you got to bank that, to your credit, that you got to bank he's not going to get injured. These pitchers that throw 100 can get injured at a moment's notice. Would it be the safe move if the Tigers don't plan on re-signing him to get rid of Skubal before the year? Probably. But my best guess is they appease the fans for half of the season. And then at the deadline, they got to have a hard conversation. Quickly on Alonso, I'm with Colin that's a lot of money. $155 million to get Pete Alonso. It's a lot of money. And that shows, in my opinion, that the Orioles, I'll go to the Orioles side on this, they were the biggest disappointment in Major League Baseball, maybe, other than the Atlanta Braves. So, they're trying to get back to relevance.
They need pitching, too.
Yeah, they need a lot. They need a whole lot.
They have a great lineup, though. Great lineup.
I don't think that this is going to immediately make them a playoff team, but it's certainly going to help, Gunnar Henderson, who struggled last year, maybe protect him a bit in that lineup. Listen, as far as angry Met fan, I don't want to hear it. All right, you still got great players on the roster. You still got Juan Soto. You still got Francisco Lindor, 2 of the best to do it at their position. Met fan will be just fine. And to give $25 million to a closer, ask the Guardians how that worked out. Ours was betting on baseball. I don't plan on paying a closer for the rest of eternity.
Number 3.
I just think it's funny seeing Mr. Moneybag Steve Cohen getting outspent by the Baltimore Orioles for. The thing is about Pete Alonso.
They didn't want him.
They didn't want to pay him.
They
Could have paid him last year. Could have paid him last year.
Which is.
He's a Boris client, too, which means you're going to get rinsed, whatever happens. But yes.
All right, let's go to the hardwood. Let's go to the college basketball hardwood where we saw an atrocity take place. I'm not talking about Dibansta, right? That's his last name? Dibansta throwing it down. I'm talking about Mad Dog Chris Russo not throwing it down. He even went up from half court of the Sun Devils. Colin, you can watch it on the screen.
I know the video.
Okay. You've seen the video? Mike, you've seen the video?
I've seen it.
Reactions to Mad Dog Chris Russo chucking up a heave.
He's 66 years old. I mean, geez. That's exactly how he's supposed to look as a 60. How many 66-year-olds are supposed to... Yeah, you move the one way, the wrong way. The funniest part is he tore everything in the left part of his body upon leaving the ground. Because he goes down, he goes off frame, out of camera, and he... hamstring, knee, everything's acting up. Hey, he's a broken down physical body. Now, it's funny. Everybody wants to spin this into, these people who can't move, aren't great athletes, can't talk about sports. Oh, hold on a second. He's 66 years old, number one. And number two, if only professional athletes can talk about professional athletes, and anybody who's talking about professional athletes, period, can't say a word. So it doesn't make any sense, nonetheless.
Can we move it closer? Why is Doggy shooting a half-court shot in the first place?
That was a miscalculation.
Absolutely
there.
Ridiculous.
And you wanted to do one. He was at practice.
But come on, move him in. All right, and I'm with Colin. He's 66. Put my dad out there, it's going to be worse. Okay, give me a break.
It is
Next
funny.
time,
It is funny.
Have
It's
Colin,
hilarious.
like Colin can do it. I've seen Colin make a half-court shot.
You
All
know,
right, have Colin
it
do
is.
All
It's
right?
hilarious. It's hilarious.
Wow. Sticking up for Pops like that. I
Yeah,
didn't anticipate that.
absolutely. Are you
Jeez.
kidding me?
I'll stick up for him because people are trying to turn it into a thing. Like, how do these people
I don't
talk
know.
about
people,
sports?
I feel like one person, and it got a bunch of retweets from people that
I don't
don't
know about
exist.
that. I don't know about
All,
that. That's not true.
all I know is that not on this show. Colin and I will bust anybody that's listening to this show.
I don't care.
all right?
No, I don't care what
Give
they
me a
say.
break.
I don't care what
All
they
right,
say.
give me a break.
But he thinks it's funny.
Dog is 60
You know, he
years
hasn't
old.
even watched the video. You know that? He hasn't even watched
Wow, he couldn't bear to see.
it. He didn't care. He's like, all right, I didn't see it. I don't know.
What did I
He
say?
doesn't have Twitter.
You said,
He doesn't have it downloaded on his phone.
Good for him. I wish I didn't.
so your dad put in that shit. You said 66 years old.
66.
22 years older than Phillip Rivers, who will be suiting up for the Indianapolis Colts.
Number 4.
I guess
On
there's
Sunday.
levels to this, huh? You know, 60-year-old, 45. Brady looks great. He's like 50. What is he? 47 right now? 48? Ah, jeez. So I guess
How about
there-
a free
there,
throw?
There are levels to this.
So the Indianapolis Colts, today they announced it, but we kind of knew it was happening yesterday with signing Phillip Rivers off the couch. And now we're seeing changes in the Colts practice schedule that are kind of indicating that Phil Rivers will start for the Colts on Sunday. What are you rooting to happen?
Did you see that Phillip Rivers too talked to the media? And it sounds like he has a strained PCL. That's Riley Leonard, who's the current starting quarterback. But Phillip Rivers basically coming out and saying, we're just going to run the ball. I watch every game. We're going to run the ball. I'm going to play it safe. Phillip Rivers coming out there and slinging. I mean, this is do or die time. He's throwing the ball 30 times. He's throwing the ball 30 times. They're not going to play safe. You don't sign a 5-year retired gunslinger to manage the game. Go hire Derek Carr if you want to do that. He's going to sling. He's going to throw it 30 times.
I'm the opposite side. I hope they throw 15, 18 times and run Taylor a lot. I'm worried he's going to get hurt.
It would be hard to watch to see him get carted off the field.
I'm sorry, guys. We've watched this league very close, all three of us. A 45-year-old man in this league is dangerous. It's malpractice. I'm worried for him. I hope Colin's right. I hope he throws it 40 times for like 3 touchdowns, but my best guess is they're going to do a lot of running the ball and hopefully not have him break it, God forbid, break something, honestly. I think it's malpractice to have him do this. I'm a big Phillip Rivers guy, too, for the record.
Sounds like he's on top. Sounds like he's on top of the Colts. He watched every snap.
One of my favorite quarterbacks, Phil Rivers, growing up, watching him in the weird release, absolutely loved it.
Evan Cohen said earlier today that he has a better throwing motion than Phil Rivers.
He's dead wrong. He's dead wrong.
Who has a better throwing motion?
Evan Cohen.
Evan said he has a better throwing motion than Phil Rivers.
Does he throw up? Can he throw a football?
Does Phil Rivers?
He was a high school quarterback.
Oh, never mind.
Well, then everyone that was a high school quarterback could play in the NFL.
He was a high school quarterback?
Phil Rivers is like number 5 on the all-time passing list. He went like 15-1 in a season. I'm not doing this. I love Evan. Evan knows that. It's ridiculous. It's like saying I shoot a better jumper than Ray Allen.
He's saying
I have a better release point than Ray Allen.
He's trying to make a point. He's just making
fundamentals. Like, there are
fundamentals. It doesn't matter. The guy could throw the ball underhanded. He's got like the 10,000 passing yards.
Wow.
You're gonna shame the man for how he throws the ball?
There are like people that are just like YouTube golfers that have better swings than tour professionals. It doesn't mean they're better at golf.
I can't take that seriously. I'm sorry.
Does Joe Brady say no if the Michigan Wolverines call?
I think so, because I think he wants an NFL job. That's why I don't think he's in Louisiana right now.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
In sports and in life, how you move matters. Injuries or pain get in the way. The orthopedic specialists at HSS Florida provide world-class care to get you moving again. From non-surgical and surgical care to personalized rehabilitation, HSS Florida offers the same quality and expertise you expect from HSS, the world's #1 in orthopedic care. With 2 convenient locations in West Palm Beach and Wellington. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida. Choose better, move better.
The 5 p.m. hour is presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage, the world's only total relocation company. Local or long distance, they've got you covered.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Some pirates spend their miserable lives searching for gold and silver. Strike the sails and cast the anchor, mates. I see a floating chest. Tickets to the South Florida Fair. With rides, games, grubs. There be something for every mate in your crew. Forget a soul on your list?
Great last-minute gift.
Give them an experience they'll never forget. With tickets to the South Florida Fair.
Now on sale at Publix and SouthFloridaFair.com. Party with the Pirates opens January 16th in West Palm Beach.
Whether it's a clutch touchdown pass, a game-winning dunk, or an impressive dash to the finish, we want to highlight the best performance of the week. The winning performance will receive $500 courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Catch the biggest moments and winners all season long on ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. Nominate them today by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Welcome to being treated like a pro.
Colin, have you checked out Vitacost Sport Certified Marketplace?
Vitacost? I love Vitacost!
Right? It's a full online sports marketplace. Over 500 performance products from trusted brands like Vega, Thorne, Vital Proteins, and Muscle Milk, all free from banned substances.
So no guessing, no label scrubbing, just clean fuel to train harder and recover smarter.
You got it. And don't forget, save 20% with code ESPN20 at sportcertified.com.
Fuel clean, train smarter. Try Sports Certified by Vitacost today.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
The Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans, kicking off its 12th year. That Boca Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium down in Boca. The game is going to air on ESPN. It's going to have two of the biggest and best teams. That is Louisville and Toledo. Battle it out for their chance at the title. More information can be found at BocaRatonBowl.com. Follow along on Twitter at Boca Bowl and Facebook.com/Boca Bowl. For more updates, get your beans on. 2025 Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans, Tuesday, December 23rd at Flagler Credit Union Stadium. They're going to call Kalen DeBoer. They're going to call him.
They're going to call everybody. The fact is, who's going to pick up the phone? I think you hit the nail on the head that they're going to let the playoff play out and see what's left after.
Yeah, they don't want a Lane Kiffin situation. They don't want to they don't want to put a coach in that spot.
The thing is, Penn State finally got there,
man. The playoff is in a week and a half, so it's fine.
Now, Doc Al texts the show, and he says, how about Michigan dragging Nick Saban back into coaching? Saban's comfy on that desk. Would you agree?
He's good.
He's got a good life. He had a good life in football, and he's having a great life now.
If he didn't go back and save LSU, I don't – because
you think that DeBoer chatter from Penn State was about Michigan? From 2 weeks ago, when they're talking about, DeBoer has interest in leaving, and then all of a sudden comes out and says, I haven't talked to Penn State one time. You think it was the wrong Big Ten team that we had?
Well, 6 days ago, there was a flight from the airport used for Michigan to Tuscaloosa. Maybe Michigan was
just a random
courting
flight. Just a random flight, or is it a private plane?
Private plane.
Oh.
Okay. By the way, you got the Cleveland guy. You aware of that? Matty Campbell?
He's a Cleveland guy?
Yeah, what do you think Matt Campbell's thinking now? He would definitely be called by Michigan.
He listens to the Really Big Show with Tony Rizzo and Aaron Goldhammer.
He would be
caller of the show, Christian.
He would be called for Michigan. So now you got to feel pretty good about it.
Lose the number.
You got to feel pretty good about it. You got to feel pretty good about it.
He won't leave.
I'm not saying he would. He just signed a contract. But yeah, just saying.
I'm starting to wear my hats like
he waited
now.
If he waits 5 days, different things. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat. We'll see you next time. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Wing Wednesday, brought to you by Hurricane Grill and Wings. 30 bold